Hi guys, hope you're doing great. Today I want to talk to you about the experience that we had at Brutal Assault Festival. That was just this weekend. Brutal Assault is a festival that is held in a tiny little town called Jaromír in the Czech Republic. It's about 1.5, 2 hours away from Prague, the capital. And yeah, it's held in a military fortress, so it's kind of cool because they use the structure from the fortress. That like there are walls by the sides of the stages. There are 5 stages, always something going on, and they're kind of built nicely into the structure of that fortress. It's the fortress called, I think, Josefov, and it was a military. It's been a military kind of fortress for ages, and I don't know if they use it for anything else, but this festival has always been there. It's been there for 26 years now, and uh, and then yeah, I think about 20, 30,000 people or something like that. And the type of music that it is, it's more this here stuff, than it is this stuff. Um, and yeah, probably better to show it. It's more this than this. So it's heavy metal. It's like black metal, death metal, hardcore. What's it called? Grind metal. Whatever. All the types of metal that are kind of heavier than, let's say, Iron Maiden, or even heavier than Metallica. And but it's but there are other acts also. There are bands that are maybe a little bit more electronic. There was this what's it called? Frontline Assembly, for example. That's more like synthesizers, but in a heavy way. And there were other bands as well that were playing, but these were typically a little bit smaller acts or placed early in the program. Um, so I've been to this festival 4 times before, but I never spent time there. I always kind of just went in and out for one band, and uh, and I've always had this backstage pass, so I've always been able to go backstage, see the bands, be on the stage when the bands are starting and stuff like that, and see the logistics, and that's really really cool. And it's nice to look at how effortlessly this runs. It's 150 bands. The festival starts on Wednesday, goes to Saturday, so there is a non-stop rotation of bands. 5 stages, always something going on. And to see those guys, set up gear for a different band, roll it on to the stage, sound test them, take them off, and what's it called? Roading? No, I don't know what you call it. Roading. Just whatever. Setting up the gear, taking down the gear. It's really really nice to see how well oiled this machine is, and this festival is, yeah, it's 26 years old, so they have a lot of experience, and you can feel that also with the sound quality there versus outdoor is actually amazing. I don't think that, yeah, maybe the Roskilde Festival in Denmark, some of the stages there often have really really good sound, but other than that, I don't think I've ever experienced such a great sound on an outdoor concert. Because after all this time, I guess these people have kind of mastered it, and the fortress walls maybe help a little bit and stuff like that. And they use it in a nice way, like they have fire coming out of the walls in the evenings, and like when the bands are playing, beating the drum, then the fire comes out of the walls and off from the walls, and it's a really really cool thing. So we did it differently this year. I'll tell you more about that later. I didn't go like in and out, so we actually saw much more bands. I went with my partner here on the channel, and my invisible partner. He never wants to be in the videos with me. I don't know what's wrong with him. Maybe it's me, not him. So some of the main bands that were there this year were Cannibal Corpse, Mayhem, Solstafir, Suffocation, Venom, Mercyful Fate, that's King Diamond, Abbath, and At the Gates. So, and I mean, there were older bands also, like Malevolent Creation. There was Ex-Hoarder, bands that have been around for a really really long time. So you see that a little bit also on the crowd. I would think that the crowd there is kind of more like 25 plus or something like that, and there was a lot of people my age, 80% men, and my age is high age. Um, but the atmosphere was great. There's like the weather was nice, so that also helps. I mean, it was kind of sunshine until Saturday night late, and yeah, but people are friendly and nice. It's not like I think that this crowd has a reputation that is untrue. Or I mean, you know, they look rougher than they are. There is more bark than bite in this crowd, and didn't see any trouble, any problems, any fight or anything like that. I mean, obviously we were not in the campground because we stayed in a apartment like half an hour away, which was I will tell you about it. It's a little bit worse situation. I think we'll try to do it differently next year. Yeah, and the whole thing is really nice. You know, like they have a lot of stores, a lot of restaurants, kind of options for anyone. You can even be a vegan there if you want to. There is pasta, there is sushi, there is Mexican, Thai, pizza, whatever, burgers, sausages. There are cocktails, tea, coffee, beer. Water was the hardest drink to find, actually. I don't know, maybe there are not many people like me who want to drink water in a festival like this, but it was, yeah, that was the hardest drink to find. So the program goes from like 10 in the morning on Friday and Saturday, on Wednesday, Thursday, and then it starts at lunchtime. And it runs until like 1, 2 o'clock in the night. And as I said, 5 stages, so there is always something going on. But they have 2 big stages next to each other. So they play on one stage while they prepare the next band on the other stage, and then they switch. And there you just walk for half a minute, and then, you know, like, so that's really, really cool. So you always have a chance to see all the headliners. If you want to go and see some of the smaller ones, you need to move a little bit around. And so yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, as I said, we did it differently this year. It wasn't an in and out operation like I have done before. So, but the only place we could find was like half an hour away. It was an apartment. We had our dogs with us because we thought that would score us some points with our girlfriends and wife. I don't have both a girlfriend. I only have a girlfriend. He has a wife. So we thought, okay, we'll take the dogs, and they won't bitch about us going to one more metal thing. And so we kind of had obligations towards the dogs, you know, like we had to tire them out before we would leave them and go to the festival. So we kind of only went in the afternoon. I mean, my partner, he was there earlier. He went on Wednesday, so he saw the day programs. But after I came on Friday, I brought both of the dogs with me. Then we kind of saw just from the afternoon, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I would have wanted to do it differently, so I would recommend, if you want to go to this festival, try and find a place, either camp, be a trooper. I'm not a trooper. I'm too old for camping like this. Or try and find a place to stay which is closer, because I would have wanted to go there during the day, had some lunch there, seen some of the smaller acts, maybe go back to the place, taking care of the dogs, or taking a nap or whatever, and then gone back in the afternoon. But we kind of, yeah, we didn't have that luxury, so we missed, or I missed a lot of the day stuff. He saw more of it. And yeah, so I think that's kind of the logistics of it and how we did it. Now, I mean, obviously, as I said, these guys have been doing this for a long time, so it's a very, very cool thing, and the whole setup works perfectly. The only thing I would maybe criticize this year, I haven't looked back in time and how it was. I felt that the program wasn't balanced enough. Like the program on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was extremely strong, and then Saturday night I didn't feel as strong. I'm pretty sure it's also about taste, because, you know, there were bands playing on Saturday that I liked, but there were also bands playing on Saturday that I didn't really like. So I think, but that's also difficult to plan, because, you know, these guys that are organizing this, they need to plan around other festivals. They need to plan around other obligations that the bands have. So it's not like they just have a free canvas and they can just paint up the program the way that they want. Yeah, I think if I think about what did I really like? I mean, it's a lot of bands. It's 150 bands within, 4 days, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days. And then I put up 4 days. And that's great. It's smooth, it works. There was no hiccups, there were no cancellations. All the experience of eating, drinking, peeing, all that stuff is great, you know, like you never have to wait anywhere, and it doesn't get disgusting. I mean, it smells when it's warm like this, it starts smelling around the toilets, but that, I don't think you can get away with that with, you know, 20, 30,000 people being there. And it's fairly priced. I think you get a ticket there for maybe 150, 200 euros, and I think for those names of those bands and these facilities, that's not bad. And the food is nicely priced as well. I think like considering that this kind of a captive audience, they could price it much higher than they do, and it's a fairly priced thing. And they have this chip system. I think I have the chip here somewhere. I cut it off. So you basically charge onto that chip, and then you pay with that, and that means that everything runs much smoother. It's every customer transaction is faster. Now we're onto some fucking business here. The app that they have is great with notifications. You can create your own program and stuff like that. And I think that this festival is just the right size, because you feel that you're not in some small festival, but you don't feel like, oh, I'm gonna lose my friends, or it's too big. The area is too big to get around. Which I think, and I feel is sometimes the case with bigger festivals. I've been at 100,000 people festivals, and you can get a little bit lost there. So this one is just the right size, and there was a lot of strong bands, like I said, like At the Gates, Venom, Abbath, Solstafir, Cradle of Filth, Suffocation, Decapitated, Malevolent Creation, Mayhem. I mean, these are big names, and so I feel that you get a lot of bang for the buck, and it's definitely worth going. We're gonna go again next year, but we're gonna try and find the place closer. So if we need to buy Goodwill by taking the dogs along, that the logistics of the whole thing is better, or I don't know, maybe I can trick her into keeping the dog while I'm away. The cons of this, I think that it's limited space in that town. It's a very, very small town, and they could have maybe rented a field somewhere and got more parking options, because people are kind of parking all over the town, and it's chaotic and difficult to find. But I mean, it is a small town. It's the only time of the year that something is happening there, and of course I understand you can't build a massive infrastructure for just one event. It wouldn't make sense, and we're back to the economy and business. It's a little bit too far if you want to kind of get in and out. If you want to be in, there is a town called Hradec Králové that's not super far away, but it's still too far, I think, to kind of drive in, go back home and stuff like that. Or from Prague, 1.5, 2 hours. That's too far, I think they could have had the balance better in the program, like I said, but that's not something that is entirely up to them. I mean, I guess that if they would have drafted up the dream program that they would have, it might have been slightly different time order and stuff like that. So I think, some of the bands that kind of surprised me, I don't know, did I tell you, we have a playlist of videos up here from there, so you can actually see for yourself. I think we have like 30 videos or something. Some of the bands that surprised me, and those are bands that actually I saw for the first time, and I think I will listen to them more now than I had done in the past. I had heard them and I had listened a little bit, but now I felt like I discovered them after this. That's Venom. They had a really, really good show. I mean, obviously Venom being the godfathers of black metal with that famous song, which is on the channel somewhere. But they were just really, really good, and they had just one guitar, the bass and the drums, and they were really good. They were super tight, cool songs, cool atmosphere, something for old dudes like me. Abbath was great. Both the whole kind of atmosphere of the show. The lights were a little bit weird, so you didn't see the main guy too much himself, but there was some mystique in the air, and the songs are really cool. They write really, really cool songs, and they sometimes surprise you somehow. It's not a very predictable music, I would say, and I really like them. Malevolent Creation, I knew that band when I was, 18, 20 or something like that, but I didn't listen very much to them. They were great. And that was one of the guys there was missing, the main guy, Phil, I think his name is. But so they played with one guitar, and I just couldn't believe that the guy was able to play this stuff on one guitar and sing at the same time. That was really good. Paradise Lost, that was my partner. he saw them. I didn't see them. We're gonna see them actually in October as well, and so he didn't want to see them. He was just there when they started playing, and he said, "Yeah, I was gonna go and see something else," but they kind of sucked you in, and that's a really really good feeling. That like when a band is so good that you don't want to leave. So that was on his list, and he also said that Mercyful Fate were great, and he said that the band was amazing, the show was really cool, and that surprised him, and that's a band that he will now start listening to. That's that King Diamond band. We have a video with them up here somewhere, or on, I don't know where I'm pointing at, on the channel. So the best shows that we kind of chose, these were the ones that surprised us the most. The best one was Cannibal Corpse, Cradle of Filth, and Malevolent Creation, and Solstafir from Iceland. Solstafir, we're not completely unbiased, we know those guys, but they were really, really good, and they have been coming to this festival a few times before. I think this was the 4th or the 5th time, and they keep getting better positioning in the program, so they were kind of the headline on Saturday night. And they had a great show in the rain, and people loved it, and it was fun to see. And yeah, they're from Iceland, I'm from Iceland, so there is a slight connection there, so I'm not completely unbiased. Next year, the festival will be, I think, 9th to the 13th of August. It's always, I think, the second weekend of August, this festival. And they have already confirmed Napalm Death and Hypocrisy as the two of the headline bands. So yeah, I think you should definitely check this out. It's easy to get here. I mean, there were people driving from Denmark in camping cars that we met and spoke to. There was a lot of Germans, a lot of Polish people, a lot of Americans, British people. It's a very international crowd, and I have a feeling that a lot of people go there year after year after year. I can definitely recommend this. It was really, really nice experience. For me, being as snobbish and posh as I am with myself and my hygiene, it took me like half an hour just to kind of accept the fact that I'm in a festival that I will be dirty, dusty, and sweaty. But once you get over that, it's great fun. And I'm just gonna check here if there was anything that I wanted to mention that I've forgotten. Yeah, I said 26 years, 150 bands. Yeah, it was cool. It was really, really cool. I would be very happy if you subscribed, comment, let me know if you were there, if there are other festivals like this, because I'm curious actually, because I have a theory that this is one of the heaviest festivals in Europe. That is a significant festival. I don't mean like 1,000 people, 2,000 people festival. I mean like when there are 10, 20, 30,000 people. I'm not sure that there are festivals this heavy with, 150 bands. But challenge me on that one. I'm happy to. I know about Hellfest, I know about Alcatraz, I know about some other festivals, but I have a feeling that this one is a bit heavier. Cool guys, have a great day, and I'll see you around. Bye.